If you've seen videos of Hebrew Israelites on social media or seen them in person on the street corner, you may have picked up on how this group feels about other races of people, particularly the so-called white race. They say these people will be going into slavery and will serve the so-called black, Hispanic, and native Indian people in the coming kingdom of heaven. Such sentiments would make someone believe the people saying these things are a racist hate group by saying an entire race of people should be subjugated. Camps such as IUIC have a disclaimer on all of their videos of them not being a hate group and being an organization dedicated to fixing their own community. Sakari, who in no way claims to be a hate group, is more upfront in saying their views are racist when asked about it directly. Certainly saying a people group will be our slaves, or how God is going to genocidally wipe out certain people groups, or how those same people are inherently evil, would fall squarely under racist rhetoric. The question is, can it be racist if it's true? An alien race of man-eating humanoids inhabit planet Earth. Anytime they're around other human beings, they cannibalize them. People say not to deal with these people in any way and seek to segregate these people so they can't harm anyone. No one desires to be around them, and any time one of them is spotted, someone calls the police. Are these actions racist? They're doing this against an entire group of people. Are these actions justified if this people group are truly harmful? It's something white people say about black people all the time. What they say about black people isn't racist if it's indeed a fact. When they say black people are the most violent and point to crime stats, they claim this is not a racist statement because it can be proven. Many will say the things Hebrew Israelites say are hate speech. A different way to look at it is not about hatred, but rather having an understanding of what you're dealing with. Do people hate sharks or grizzly bears? They don't hate them, but they won't get into a body of water full of sharks, and they won't go into a cave full of grizzly bears. They understand what will happen to them if they do. Some will argue you can't characterize an entire group of people this way. We understand there are no absolutes. Anomalies and exceptions happen. We don't have the social environment we have if this people group were made up mostly of people who don't practice anti-black racism and also actively fight against it. No one is going to jump in a shark tank because they believe one or two sharks won't try to eat them. If it can be substantiated, a certain people group has been harmed by another people group, and those affected choose to keep themselves away from these harmful people and call these people evil, how is this racist? It's neither racist nor hateful to not want to deal with your bully, your rapist, or your abuser, and to call them evil for their actions. There is a such thing as righteous indignation. It is natural to be angry at those who actively seek to do you harm, and to actively look for ways to stop them from doing you harm. When Hebrew Israelites read the prophecies of the Bible and then looks at history and calls the white race a group of evil people, there is anger there, but there isn't any hate or racism in these statements. It's just a point of fact. We know how the white race has treated black people in the past and even today. If we are to judge people by the content of their character, then the indictment of being evil would fall squarely on this group of people by an examination of history and current events. Many will attempt to gaslight black people into denying what is in front of their face, but the evidence is all there. They will say you are characterizing an individual based on an incidental characteristic of their skin color. This could not be further from the truth, as prominent members of both IUIC and Sakari do not have dark skin and could possibly pass as being white. There are a number of shades within these Israelite camps. This is because Hebrew Israelites don't look at skin color, but rather at lineage. There are dark-skinned individuals who are not qualified to be in an Israelite camp because their father is from certain parts of Africa, which would make them Hamites, or their grandfather is European or Asian, making them an Edomite or a Moabite. Someone looking like an Arab or East Indian could be an Israelite if they have so-called black, Hispanic, or native Indian patrilineage. People don't descend from colors or locations. They descend from people. Israel is not a location on a map. It's a person whose name was originally Jacob. Genetics is not an exact science, and people move around all the time. Your patrilineal line, however, is going to remain in its place. Calling people out for their behavior is not an act of hate. If the issue is substantiation, this criteria has already been fulfilled. When the prophecies given to us by the holy prophets perfectly align with documented history, what more needs to be said? Facts can't be racist.